Hey Liam, so obviously this weekend was a big week for you guys, as an offensive line and as a unit. I mean, just talk about y'all's performance as a whole and just kind of how you were able to get both the run and the pass game, going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a good weekend for us as an offense and as an O line in particular. We knew kind of going into the week, and especially kind of 2 weeks leading up to the game that we needed to step up and we needed to kind of take control and try to take charge of the game and really set the tone for the team. And it was going to be a challenge. We had a lot of respect for the South Carolina defense, especially their defensive line. But we rose to the challenge and we had our best game so far. And that's something that now we got to keep building on and take the next step going forward this week.
Hey, Liam, were you at all surprised about TJ's execution? Can you speak to how he was managing the team and the huddle down the field, etc.? And just the idea that a true freshman can come in and play like that in his first game, was that surprising to you?
It was impressive for sure. He really rose to the challenge. He got his opportunity, and he wasn't afraid, which was really the most impressive part. By no means did he play a perfect game or anything, but what was impressive to me is when he did make a mistake or something, he didn't really get upset about it, or he just kept looking forward, which is what you need. So it was really impressive, and I'm happy for him, and yeah.
And Liam, throughout this season, I mean, what has it been like behind the scenes for you guys, knowing that each week it seems like you have a different starting lineup, whether it's a tackle or guard or wherever. I mean, what's the conversation like preparing for that and knowing that, I don't know, supporting others as they step into roles?
Yeah, on the O line, obviously we've had different guys having to rotate in pretty much every game, and kind of across the team it's been like that too. As you see, TJ had to step up this last week, which is kind of the mindset that we have to have, is just next man up. Coach Craig, from the first day that we were in here for fall camp, he said that there's everyone in this room is going to have to contribute. Everyone in the offensive line room. It's the starting five from the first game. It's not going to be the starting five for the entire year. Guys are going to go down. Stuff's going to happen. And guys have stepped up for us. Cam Wire and Charles Turner both have done a good job stepping up, and hopefully they'll be able to continue to do so. And who knows who else will have to have their name called.
And to follow up with that, what have you seen from Cam Wire? Like, what's he like, and what are his skill sets to stepping into this role?
Yeah, he's really risen to the challenge. He's not only is he stepping in, but he's been banged up. He's not 100% healthy himself, but we need him, and he played a great game this last week. He played great against Vanderbilt. It's really exciting to see a guy like that who maybe wasn't projected to be in the starting five to start the year, but. Like I said, Coach Craig is always telling us that guys are going to have to step up, and he's certainly one of those guys. So hopefully he'll be able to continue to keep doing so.
Hey, Liam, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. Eli Ricks now with 3 interceptions this season. Was he having that kind of a fall camp that would make you think he'd have such good, so much production this early as a freshman, or is this sort of something that's come along more recently?
I mean, he's a kid that, when I first got here, he's someone that stood out as, he's got all the physical tools. He really is a special athlete. And he's been playing well throughout fall camp, and luckily he's been making the most of his time in the games, and he's really stepped up for us as one of our more important players on the team. And he's making plays like that, game-changing plays that really have helped us out.
Hi, Liam. Greetings from Massachusetts.
Hi.
4 games in, where's your confidence level, just adjusting to a new program, new position, new area where you're living, things like that?
It's good. At this point in the season, I'm used to it. I think the ball's certainly rolling at this point. And now it was a good game this past weekend, and we're on to Auburn, and that's really just how it has to be. These games come up quick, back to back to back. There's really no time in between. Everything happens so quick. So yeah.
Just to follow up, I heard your parents were there last weekend.
Yeah, I've been
What was
fortunate.
that like? I know they went to all your Harvard games.
Yeah, they've been able to come down pretty much to every game. They weren't able to go to Vanderbilt because there weren't any fans there, but luckily my dad's been able to take some days off work, and they've been able to get some reasonably priced flights. It's been a great experience, and I'm so happy that they've been able to make it down.
Speaking of family, Coach O mentioned yesterday about, you guys are motivated to play for the state, when they're going through these hurricane weeks. So what's that like for you as players, just to have an extra incentive when you're still obviously trying to fight Auburn as well?
Yeah, I'm new to the area. This is like really my first time being in the South where hurricanes like kind of are a thing, and it's been eye-opening to me. Like, I guess like I've seen them on the news and stuff growing up, but I really didn't understand how much of an impact that really has. And seeing like areas like Lake Charles and what they've been going through, if we're something that us playing on a Saturday and those folks can turn us on and kind of have a good time for a few hours watching us play, like we want to play well for them, and that's something that we want to continue to do so.
Hi, Liam. And hello, Jennifer. You don't sound like you're from Breaux Bridge or anything. I take it you're from this, not from this part of the country. Hey, Liam, have you heard anything about this series has been filled with a lot of crazy games over the years. Buildings burning during the game at Auburn, and the interception game and the earthquake game. Do you know anything about the history of this series? Have you been able to learn anything about it since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, people have talked about it since I've been here that for some reason or other, LSU-Auburn is always a huge game. That it's always exciting. Even going back to last year, it was a great game for LSU, and I'm grateful that I'm going to be able to be a part of it, and hopefully write another successful chapter in the series for LSU. But we'll see. We're going to get their best shot, and they're going to get our best shot. So.
Hey, Liam, Jacques Doucet from WAFB. Typically, when you take a true freshman to Jordan-Hare Stadium, 90,000 people, that'd be something to really get prepared for. Obviously, there won't be that many fans, but still, how do you prepare for to take him on the road and, fans against him and kind of, I wouldn't say a hostile atmosphere, but I think you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, TJ, one thing about him, he does a great job preparing. And as not only him, as does Miles and Max and everybody else in the quarterback room. So really, that's what it's going to have to come down to. I personally think is putting in the same amount of preparation and even more than last week to make it easier on them, so they're not confused out there or worried about other stuff, where they can really just focus on playing. And even in an atmosphere like that, they're confident in themselves and they know what they have to do and what's going on. So it makes it that much easier.
Hey, Liam, Amos Morale from WWL Radio. When John and Ty have it kind of rolling like they did on Saturday, does that change anything for you guys on the offensive line? And when any of the running backs are in, do you guys have to block different, or is it all pretty much the same? We block the same regardless of who's behind us running the ball, but we have some really talented backs, and that's been evident throughout the season this year. They've really made some impressive plays. And what was really encouraging this last week was we kind of went into the game knowing that we wanted to run the football, and that was the game plan, and we had a ton of success doing so. Trying to build our identity as a football team. So hopefully we'll be able to keep building on that going forward.
Yeah, that was kind of my question. But just to add on to that, how was it, Liam, being able to have such a balanced attack? And what was the key part you think the offensive line was able to take away from Saturday's game?
The biggest thing is we knew going into the game that that's what we had to do. That was the game plan, and that's what we wanted the game plan to be. We want to be one of the key units on the team where we can be sort of like the backbone of the offense, and we know, everyone knows it, when you're running the football well, it opens up the pass game that much more, and especially with a freshman quarterback, TJ, it makes it that much easier on him. take some pressure off him. And luckily, we were able to have success doing so.
And Liam Brooks, again, from the Advocate, Ed Ogeron said a lot of those runs came off the tags and RPOs. I mean, how much is that, in your transition to this offense, how have you seen that work from your perspective? And, how often do you guys see that in the game? Yeah,
I mean, that's just a part of the system, really. And a reason for that is just it kind of keeps the defense honest. Even though they know we're trying to run the ball, they can't just load up the box and put everyone there, because if they do that, we're just going to have like a quick route off of the run, and they're going to be vulnerable there. So that's definitely a big part of our offense, as you saw this past Saturday.
Is there a responsibility for you there?
Honestly, no. We know that there's like pass tags on our run plays, but we block the same. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to be a run or a pass on those plays. It's really on the quarterback to make the read.
Hey, Liam, I got a couple of questions. Just how much have you interacted with Miles since TJ was named the starter? What are his spirits? Are you able to kind of joke with him about, hearing footsteps on his job, et cetera? Is he, taking it in stride? And then secondly, what do you see in the Auburn front? They were pretty tenacious last year, had one of the best defenses against LSU. This year, they seem to be down a little bit, though.
So on Miles, as good as TJ played, Miles is our guy. And he knows that, and I've said that to him. He's in here every day, obviously getting treatment, and I'm always talking to him. He's just as happy for TJ as anyone else. That's just who he is. But he knows that it's still his job. And having TJ behind him, now knowing that TJ is capable, he's a good player. It's going to hopefully light even more of a fire in Miles. And knowing that there is competition there, but it is his job. And then onto Auburn, they definitely had some crazy players last year after seeing some film from last year's game already. So a couple of those guys graduated, but they're still a pretty good group up front. And it's Auburn. Like they're a good team. It's going to be another challenge for us as an offensive line dealing with their defensive front. So all we got to do is, we started yesterday and then kind of keep building on our preparation today and throughout the week, and then be ready to go on Saturday.
We'll wrap up with Glenn.
Hey, Liam, obviously Terrace Marshall's been on a pretty historic tear here through 4 games. I mean, just from an offensive lineman's perspective, have you ever seen or heard of any kind of a start like this to a season in recent memory?
No, I don't know. He's been so impressive. He's a hell of a player. He's definitely one of the best players, if not the best player on the team. And he's an absolute game changer for us, having a guy like that who's capable of scoring a touchdown on any play from anywhere on the field. He's a matchup nightmare for other teams, and his versatility of lining them up pretty much anywhere, and him being able to do so many different things is huge for our offense. And I expect to continue seeing that throughout the rest of the season. I don't think it's just like a hot start. I think that's who he is as a player. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.